Today, I wanted to share with you guys 5 tips that helped me manage gestational diabetes. Now that my daughter is born, she has not had any blood sugar issues. I have not had any since she's been born. So these are just a few things that helped me manage without having to have medication. So here are 5 tips to help you manage gestational diabetes.
Be good at life. I wanna get it right. I wanna be a light shine so bright. They say life ain't fair. Oh, but I don't care. If life's cake, I wanna take the biggest bite. I wanna be good at life.
So before we get started too much, I want to start by saying I am not an OBGYN, I'm not an endocrinologist, I'm not a nutritionist, dietitian, whatever. I'm none of the things. I have no letters after my name. So before you do anything that I say, make sure you consult with your physician. Make sure you're talking to your OB. If you have a maternal fetal medicine doctor who's helping you manage the diabetes, make sure you talk to them. These are just things that helped me. But again, don't do anything without talking to a doctor. So there's that. Now, this is in no particular order. I just have 5 things that helped me. Number 1 is tell people, okay? Tell your friends, tell your family that you have gestational diabetes. For me, it was a little embarrassing because I was thinking, I don't eat bad. People are gonna think I eat terrible. They're gonna think I don't know, I'm not healthy. And that was embarrassing for me. If it's not for you, great, you've already skipped a step. But for me, it was a little embarrassing and I didn't really wanna tell people. But when you tell people, you build a support system, and that's really important having gestational diabetes because you have to say no to treats and sugar and carbs and all the good things in life. So having that support system is very helpful. So when more people know that this is what you're struggling with or what you're dealing with, it's easier for them to support you. So my husband was very supportive and helped me. He ate like I was eating. We didn't eat a whole lot of carbs, obviously. We didn't have any sugar in our house, and so that was very helpful. My friends who would take me out to eat or whatever would make sure that we went to places that had options for me. So that's my first tip. Tell people what you're going through so they can help support you through this journey. Tip number 2 is set an alarm. So for me, I had to test my glucose first thing in the morning, fasting. So as soon as you wake up, you test it. And then 2 hours after each meal. So if I would start eating at 8 a.m., I would have to check my glucose at 10. And you'll be surprised. You'll forget. Let me just tell you, you're pregnant, you're going to forget. So as soon as I would take that first bite of food, I would just set an alarm on my phone. I'd either say, hey Siri, set an alarm for 2 hours from now.
The alarm is set for 10:11 a.m.
There you go. So just do that, or just go into your timer thing and set an alarm. But that will help you remember to test your glucose 2 hours after eating. Okay, my third tip is use an app to track your food. It just helps you keep up with how many carbs you're eating, how many sugars you're getting, what your macros are, what are your carbs, proteins, and fats. So my favorite app is MyFitnessPal. I've been using it for literally years and years and years and years, and I love it. It helps me keep up with everything in an organized manner, and I like that it keeps up with food you've eaten before, so you don't have to remember it. You can just click, oh yeah, that's what I had yesterday. This is what I'm gonna add today. You can also scan the barcode of foods. Like if you eat something from the store, you just scan the barcode and it'll add it for you. It has most restaurants in there, so you can search, oh, Charlie's salmon, whatever. And it will find it for you. And then you can also manually add food. So if you know what's in a food, you can add it in there. So using an app to track your food was very helpful for me because it helped me keep up with, first of all, what I was eating. And if I looked back and saw that my glucose had spiked one day, I was able to look back at the MyFitnessPal app and go, oh, this is what raised that level that day. So that is my next tip, to use an app to track your food. My 4th tip is to buy these little alcohol pads. You can get them at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, I'm sure. I bet you can get them on Amazon. I'll put a link if I find them on Amazon. It just makes it so much easier. For me, I was testing my glucose in the car mostly because of my job. I'm a traveling saleswoman. sales. So I was testing my glucose in the car a lot, and at first I was literally carrying around a bottle of alcohol and like some Q-tip, or not Q-tips, cotton balls. And then I found these little alcohol swabs. So it helps to have those handy to be able to clean your fingers before you have to prick yourself. So those alcohol swabs were very helpful. My final tip is your 5th tip, and it is to keep or find low carb or low sugar treats. So I have a huge sweet tooth, and especially when I'm pregnant, I just want all the sugar. So when you have gestational diabetes, you can't eat those things. Find yourself some low carb or low sugar recipes for treats. I will share these cookie dough balls that we made. We found them in a magazine. I think it was actually a keto magazine, but it's low carb, low sugar. It uses the swerve sugar. I've talked about that before, I think. I'll put a link. I know you can get that on Amazon, so I'll put that on Amazon. And I will share the recipe for these cookie dough balls down below in the description. So that's one. I know you can find like no sugar added popsicles, which my toddler loves, so those are good. And then I personally found these Atkins snacks. So Atkins and Slim Fast both have like keto or low carb treats. I like these brownies. There also are little candies like M&M type candies. There's like Reese's type candies. So I like those just because when I want something sweet, it was easy to grab one of those treats. I wouldn't suggest eating them all the time because some of them are full of fake sugar like aspartame, which is no. But you know, when you really have that sweet tooth and you're just craving it when you're pregnant, that was nice for me personally to have because it wasn't going to spike my glucose level too bad. So that is my last tip, is to keep or find some low carb or low sugar treats. And that's it. Those are the 5 tips and tricks that I have for helping you manage gestational diabetes. Again, these are just things that worked for me, and I made sure I talked with my doctor, both of my doctors actually, my OBGYN and my maternal fetal medicine doctor who was helping me manage the diabetes, and made sure that they both knew what I was doing, what I was eating, how I was tracking it, all the things. That way they could have their input and help me manage this. So be sure to tell your doctors. Make sure they know exactly what you're doing. And if you are going through gestational diabetes right now, or if you have in the past, let me know. Leave me some comments, because I'm still very curious as to how different people manage this really annoying problem. So let me know, and please like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. My husband and I have some really fun ones coming up. I'm filming one with my mom this Saturday, which is going to be really fun for her birthday. So be sure you like the channel, subscribe, and if you hit the little bell, it will send you a notification every time I put a new video up so you don't miss it. Thanks, guys.